This is my review of The Chosen, Season 1, Episode 1. Now, first off, I have to say, I didn't realize that this was put together by Angel Studios. Now that I know that, I'm not surprised. In the opening scene, we see a father and a little girl, and the date is 2 BC. That's fairly accurate. We know that Jesus was not born on year 1, and there is no year 0. For those of you who don't know, year 1 is both BC and AD. There is no year 0. I'd say that's pretty good scholarship on their part. Now, right from the beginning, the girl in the opening sequence, I knew it was Mary Magdalene because it was in the village of Magdala, and the main person in that scene was the girl. So that was really the only person it could be, unless for some reason they were going to make it Martha. So was I surprised when they started calling her Lilith? Yeah, a little bit. It confused me a bit. I thought, okay, maybe this is another character. But then when they started dealing specifically with the demonic possession, then I knew it was Mary, and it turned out to be exactly what I thought, that Lilith was her demonic name and her real name is Mary of Magdala. So was Mary possessed by demons? Yes, right here in this passage, she was demon possessed, and Jesus did cast the demons out of her. Absolutely. Now, the gentleman who played Nicodemus, yeah, I love him in all his work. He's one of my favorite actors. I think he did a great job showing the beliefs and the system of the day. The attention to detail is just honestly astounding. Just, you feel like you're really looking at a window into biblical times, not just a conceptualized biblical time based off of 90s artwork. No, it really felt like ancient Israel, Roman occupied Israel at that. Now, the depiction of the tax collector, Matthew, first off, he went by Levi. Most scholars actually believe that he went through a name change just like Peter did when he became a follower of Christ. So I think it probably would have been more accurate to call him Levi to start, and then eventually he becomes Matthew. But that is a debatable thing, no big deal. Now, I think they try to make him a bit too unlikable. Now, yes, absolutely, he would have been viewed as a Roman collaborator, and they would have hated him, but they absolutely wanted his favor. They would have treated him well, even though they hated him behind his back, because if he hated you, he could make your life completely just ruinous. So then we learn about the Red Quarter, and this is equivalent to what we call the Red Light District. It's where all of the sinful sexual behavior takes place, and usually for a fee. Now, it's according to Catholic tradition that Mary was a prostitute. They actually combine her with another woman who washed Jesus' feet with her tears. But there's actually no indication in scripture that she was a prostitute. Now, it is confirmed that she was demon-possessed. Is it possible? Sure, absolutely, but we just don't know that for certain. I don't have a problem with them playing that angle because, again, it is possible. It's just a debatable matter. As expected, there's a lot of poetic license in here. They have to add in a bunch of story that's not in the Bible. If that offends you, you're watching the wrong show. I'm going to recommend this movie instead if you just a word-for-word reenactment that's really good. But the poetic license was absolutely expected. If you're going to build a show where you care about the characters that's riveting to watch, there has to be character development. And while the Gospels are great historical accounts, eyewitness accounts, they are not storybooks. So there is no character development beyond what we can read in the pages, and it jumps from event to event to event. It's not meant to be a storybook, so they are going to have to add things in. Now, I do absolutely like how they show that Peter has his rough side and also his tender side. That absolutely, to a T, is the Peter that we know from Scripture. And I do like how they show that they are up to some nefarious things, saying some questionable things. It's very relatable for those who, might not have made a decision for Christ. Now, my one big problem they have is that they ended it with, a twist that I saw coming, that Lilith was Mary, but that wasn't my problem. My problem is that they make it seem as if he casted the demons out of her. Keep in mind, I haven't seen episode 2. I'm assuming that's what was happening. But that was not Jesus' first miracle. Here in the Gospel of John, we can see that his first miracle was turning water into wine at the wedding in Cana. So if I have any kind of really major complaint, they did break biblical continuity with that. So overall, it was a great art form and a poetic version of what we know. I didn't see anything that was drastically concerning. I think people could absolutely watch this and enjoy it, and maybe it'll even bring people to church. I think that'd be great.